A rainbow of color streaked by as both women were carried away on the winds of traveling magic. The sorceress saw her escape from this spinning vortex, a shimmering point of golden light.
You brought us into this magical trap,
the sorceress shouted.
So it's only fitting that you should remain here forever.
Summoning a powerful blast of magic, the sorceress sent Rosalina flying away into the magical void. The sorceress passed through the golden light and landed face down onto cold, hard ground. She felt a wave of fear as she realized that this was a world without magic, and that all of her power was gone. She was alone and powerless, reduced to a common person. She would need to learn the customs of this new land. She was not the only new arrival to this strange place. Tiny mushroom spores had come along for the ride, carried along on her dress. These tiny spores drifted on the wind and landed in the window flower box in front of a plumber's shop, and there began to grow. She turned at the sound of a door opening. A stout, mustachioed man approached her and said,
Hello, lady. You look confused. Are you lost?
Yes,
she replied cautiously.
I'm not from around here.
The man extended his hand toward her.
Nice to meet you. My name is Mario. Don't worry, you're going to love this town.
Sometime later, the front door of the Plumber Brothers shop opened, and the sorceress, now using the name Pauline, rushed in excitedly.
Oh, Mario, I have great news. We have the money for the building project. The bank just approved the loan.
You have the eye for business, that's for sure,
Mario said with a grin. The brothers' plumbing business had become very successful with Pauline's help.
I remember the first day in the town. You couldn't even find the bus stop, and now you own this successful business, and even help out me and Luigi too.
Pauline had the great idea to advertise the brothers' plumbing business by borrowing a giant ape from the zoo. The newspapers came in droves to see the plumbers unveil their no monkey business promotion. Unfortunately, Mario had to convince the great ape, called Donkey Kong, to perform. Mario offered a brief apology.
Sorry, monkey. Time to dance.
With that, Mario began to hit the great ape with a stick. This drew out the angry response everybody was waiting for. Pauline did feel bad, but she had spent hard-earned money to launch the promotion, and she needed an angry ape to get the attention. After the successful stunt, the zoo would see a rise in attendance. Donkey Kong became the premier attraction with visitors, and they were encouraged to rattle his cage to see the mad monkey. As time went by, Pauline got involved in the real estate business. She had broken ground on a large apartment construction some months ago, and now the framework of the building was finished. But Pauline needed to generate some investor and media attention to finish her project. She had recently watched a movie about a giant ape that had been captured in the wild. He was brought to the city and chained to entertain the people. At the end of the movie, he climbed a skyscraper carrying a beautiful blonde. This image inspired her to set up another media stunt. She contacted the zoo about getting access to Donkey Kong again. They were very happy to lend him to Pauline, so she had the giant ape brought to the construction site. A bulky cage was fine at street level, but she wanted the best view for the cameras, so she had a metal collar made for the ape and attached it to a chain. When the day of the media stunt arrived, Donkey Kong was chained to a high platform while Pauline, wearing a blonde wig, pretended to cower in fear just out of his reach. The press and the crowd loved the spectacle. Camera flashes lit up the framework, and the cheers from the crowd below echoed up and all around the confused and agitated ape. Donkey Kong did not recognize the blonde lady, although she seemed familiar somehow. Then his eyes narrowed in anger when a stout, mustachioed man came into view. The giant ape remembered this fellow very clearly. This one had used a stick to make him perform. Now he carried a hammer for some reason. Rage fueled the ape, and with a mighty roar, Donkey Kong snapped his chain and threw a barrel toward the startled plumber. Mario dodged and smashed every barrel that the ape sent his way. Donkey Kong realized that this man had too much room to move on this level. Donkey Kong decided that he would climb high up into the ladders and beams where the man would be easier to catch. The ape grabbed the blonde lady, ensuring that the man would follow, and started to climb. Mario rushed after the ape. Barrels continued to rain down on him. He smashed some and jumped over others. Mario reached the top and saw that Pauline had been tied to a beam. The giant ape stood in front of her, holding a beam of wood in his hand. Mario realized this Donkey Kong wanted a showdown. Mario extended his hand and said,
Listen, monkey, let the lady go, and everybody can go home.
Donkey Kong raised his wooden beam and charged. Man and ape dueled back and forth. The ape was stronger, but the man was faster. Hammer and club smashed together again and again. Mario saw that all the fighting had made the boards shift. As a young man, Mario had worked in construction to save up money to buy his plumbing business. Mario lunged toward Donkey Kong. The ape jumped away from the hammer swing, but he was not the man's target. The hammer slammed down on a floorboard and snapped it. The ape lost his balance and fell into the darkness. Mario rushed to untie Pauline from the beam, and together they climbed down. On the ground, the press mobbed Mario and Pauline. Helicopters had photographed the rooftop duel. This newsworthy event would ensure that investors came out of the woodwork. Mario and Pauline were overnight celebrities.